Enjoy your experience.
Hey y'all, this is a bit of a different video. I'm gonna do my physical TBR, my to be read, and I have this habit of picking up a book, getting bored, or getting too excited and not being able to finish it, and then picking up a different book. So I'm actually in the middle of like 6 different books, and I have a plethora of unread books that I want to show you today. Most of them are from my childhood, some of them are recent purchases, but I eventually in life want to say I've read all these books, and there's more books I want to buy. If any of you have read the Shadow and Bone series, tell me how it is, because that's next on my list. I really want to read it. Same with Powerless, which is like blowing up all over Book Talk at the moment. But yeah, let me show you my physical TBR. My physical TBR sits next to my bed and acts as a shelf. And my plan today was to move all of these and just check them, make sure there's nothing wrong with them because they sit up against the wall and I don't want moisture to get to them. And that's what inspired me to do this video. Here's all my stuffed animals, but to my books. I'm going to start with the ones that I'm currently in the middle of. And it's, can you see that? The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the prequel in the Hunger Games series. I'm at chapter, I think I'm a couple pages away from chapter 15. Oh, chapter 16. So I'm in the middle of chapter 15. I'm in the middle of The Fae Princes, which is the 4th book in the Vicious King series. I love this series. What chapter am I in this? These are really fast reads, which I appreciate. Where's my bookmark? Oh, there it is. I'm in chapter 9. Can't show the cover, but I'm in the middle of the Loser series. This is the 2nd one. My favorite book series of all time. Proceed with caution, please. Read the trigger warning list. But it's one of my favorite book series of all time. I haven't started this yet, but I'm very excited to. I'm so excited to read this series. It's ridiculous. To go on the opposite end of any of those books, I am also in the middle of The Secret History. This is kind of a soft DNF. I'm not going to finish it nor read it, but it's not at the top of my priority list at the moment. Also, haven't started this. Also very excited too. I bought these 2 at the same time, and then I bought these 2 at the same time, so I kind of started one over the other. This is a book series I've been reading since middle school, and I constantly go back to it. This is my 4th reread. And then we have a little... Do you see that fluff? This is what I'm looking for. Why is there a fluff on there? Black Arts. This is a demonology, witchcraft, occult book. This is more of a... What's the word I'm looking for? Informational book, rather than like a work of fiction, which is what most of my books are. Where my current reads were, and down there are all my poetry books. I love poetry. So there are 2 books down there that weren't poetry books, which is Neon Gods by Katie Roberts. Again, phenomenal book. Read the trigger warnings. And then the first book in the Game of Thrones series. For my poetry books, though, we have A Beautiful Composition of the Broken. I think this is my 2nd reread. You can see my little bookmark. And then I have this collection, which is The Witch Doesn't Burn on this one, The Princess Saves Herself, and The Mermaid's Voice Returns. Read the trigger list for this one, too, because these can be pretty dark. And then I have Halsey's poetry book, which is dirty. Great. Well, I mean, I was going to keep it forever anyways, but I would leave me if I could. Phenomenal. And then I have Film for Her from Orion. I have her first poetry book, too. That's over there in a different pile. I'm planning to organize these in a specific order, whether it's by series, by fiction, romance fiction, anything like that, or just read books, because I have read The Priest, and it's in a non-read pile. Again, great book. Definitely read the trigger warnings for that one. Here's the Maximum Ride and Fang from, was it James Patterson? I need to find the rest of the series. I've been trying to read this series since I was like 13, and I've just never accumulated all the books. This is just a dream book. You see what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense. There's no order around. Here's another poetry book. Here's Madson's poetry book. Is this the one where his signature? And then I have, this is what I mean when I say I have books that don't make any sense, because there's no series. This is the one of the last, if you don't count the little, like, novella, this is the last book in the Devil's Night series. I don't have 1 through 3. I take that back. I have Corrupt on my phone. I don't have, what is it? It's Hideaway and Kill Switch, Damon's book. I have Will's book, the 4th book. To be fair, my friend gave me this book because she got them for Christmas, I think. And this one, she just didn't like the print of it. There was something wrong with, like... Oh, that must have been what it is. Can you see that? And she's a book girly, so, like, that wasn't going to slide, so she just gave it to me. I think they sent her a new copy. Again, this is what doesn't make sense. You know how I said beautiful creatures? Here's the other 3. Beautiful Darkness, Beautiful Chaos, and Beautiful Redemption. Not with the first one. And then another case of me not buying the series, because apparently I have Twilight and I have Breaking Dawn. The 1st and the 4th. What's the matter with me? Why do I do this? Last pile on my bedside. We have Call Me By Your Name. This is my 2nd reread. This is my friend's book, actually. I'll have to ask if they want this back. This is the Sabbath's book, another informational witchy book. Really like this, actually. If you're trying to get into pagan holidays. Beautiful read. Gives you little history on it, and then it gives you, like, recipes you can do and little crafts you can do. So cute. This is another one of Madson's poetry books. This one's actually signed with one of my old names. I used to go by Mars. What is this? Oh, it's an index card from Sizzy Rocket. That must have been the bookmark. On to my other poetry books. Here's Orion's first book, Flux. Beautiful. And then I have 2 of Broppy Cause books. I don't know if she ever made a 3rd. Milk and Honey and the Sun and Her Flowers. I actually have a tattoo from this book, and I always forget. It's the one on my wrist. Let me see if I can find... Technically, it was a cover-up. I was low-key just looking for something to put on there, because I didn't like what I had. Here you go. It's a cute poem. I'm not going to be able to reach those. Hang on. I just bent my nail backwards trying to pick all these up. God, that hurt. This is my Michigan Chiller series collection. These used to be my brother's, I'm pretty sure. And we had a lot more. And then we got rid of them. And I really wish we didn't. But I have number 4, New York Ninjas. Number 5, Gargoyles of Gaylord. Number 11, Poisonous Pythons Paralyzed Pennsylvania. That's a tongue twister. Missouri Madhouse, number 10. Number 3, Florida Fog Phantoms. Number 9, Iron Insects Invade Indiana. That was harder than the Pennsylvania one. Number 2, give me a minute. Ogres of Ohio. And then, again, let me go pick this up with 2 hands because I'm not trying to bend another nail. Okay, so, not so fun fact. I have nearly every single book of A Series of Unfortunate Events. Can you see which one's missing? Number 4. Why on earth I don't have number 4, I don't understand. But I'm on the hunt for it, because I don't want to start this series until I get the 4th one. But yeah, 1 through 10, minus 4. And then just little random ones. We have The Different Girl. Don't even remember what this is about. Okay. That actually sounds interesting. I'm going to move that up. There's a hair on this book. We have Island Treasure. And then we have Famous Last Words. Hollywood Can Be Murder. That sounds pretty fucking cool. Some of these books are, like, as it says, like, Scholastic. My mom ran the Scholastic Book Fair every single year. And I probably picked up 5 to 8 books every single year when I was a kid. I was a reader. I took pride in the fact that I was a second grader with like a 7th grade reading level. And this is all it amounted to, was just tons and tons of books. Because I'm not done yet. There's more. Here's my other stack, and I'm going to move all of these over there. See the empty spot? Kind of. I want them to all be there. I'm sitting on the side. These are the books that I just showed you that are over there. Let me not start a book avalanche. You know what? I'm going to move on. Here's a Healing from Grief book. This is the Divergent series. Here's number 1. Where's number 2? Again, bought these at the Scholastic Book Fair. Please don't make me mad at me when I say I haven't read them. I will. I promise. Here's the 3 Hunger Games that come before the prequel. I've only read the first one. Gonna make a lot of people mad. I'm just such a slow reader and like a bored reader. I see some of these book talk girlies, like they're 24 readathons. I'm like, how are you picking 7, 9? What happened? 7, 9 books to read in 24 hours. I'd finish maybe one. This book series I have read though. The Matched Cross Reach series is kind of like a dystopian young adult romance. I loved it. Ate this shit up in middle school. Here's the other 3 Game of Thrones. I got these from my brother along with the first one. I think there's only one more book that's been released, and then obviously he's planning to sometime release the last one. Here's another Maximum Ride book. She's Seen Better Days. Here's another Maximum Ride book. And then I have these 2. One is Caught. This is book number 5. And this one's Torn, book number 4. I don't have 1 through 3. Oh, look at this. Another Maximum Ride book. And then we have The Fault in Our Stars. And The Book Thief. Did I show you guys? The Book Thief reminded me of The Great Gatsby. Did I show this off? I also have this. I really want to get Fahrenheit 451 because I read that in school. And it was actually one of the books that I loved to read. It was a really good book. I want to get... I love how I'm saying that as if I'm not surrounded by books that I haven't read yet. Want to get the Maze Runner series, Shadow and Bone series, as I said. What were the other ones? I want to get the Percy Jackson series. I found like books 1, 4, 2 or something like that at a yard sale, and I'm like, damn. Maybe it was like 2. Maybe the first one wasn't there. But if there was the whole collection, I definitely would have bought it. I digress. Now I have to organize. Actually, there's one more book. I have a bunch of witchy books that are in my witchy compartment thing that I can do a whole separate video on because there's like 10 books in there and it's kind of hard to get out. But I do have this, minus the hair, an Alice in Wonderland book. It has Alice in Wonderland, Alice Through the Looking Glass, and then a collection of his poems. The back's kind of fucked up because it was sitting on something. I really wish I could display this somehow. Pretty sure I got this off Amazon, like 4 years ago. I love how I showed y'all this book, and then I talked about Fahrenheit 451, which is about, like, kind of modern-day America's when he planned to place the book in. And it's about people banning books, which is happening all over the U.S. I digress. This is about 1939 Nazi Germany, and this little girl finds a book by her brother's gravestone. I'll just let you read. I read this in middle school. Now that I read the back, I'm like, okay, this sounds really familiar. It's a classic. Definitely recommend. Honestly, I'd recommend any book. A book is a book to me. I'm one of those people, do you know how people will, like, rate things low, even if they liked it, a book is almost always 5 stars. Unless it's just objectively bad, then it might get a 3. But even then, I'll be like, it's just not my cup of tea. I'm such a 5-star book girl, no matter what. So maybe don't trust my opinions, but I think any book is a good book.
I have multiple copies of some of my favorite books. For example, I have
Here's a little update.
Old, some kind of
I'm watching
cover, and I have
Destiny
another copy
to
of it.
get me through this because this is kind of hard. I'm also, the reason I'm not doing a time lapse is because you can tell how fucking dark it is over here. Like, it's not gonna work. Hopefully you can see. Down here, I have the Maximum Ride series except one book. And then we have the Divergent series. We have the Fault in Our Stars, my 2 Twilight books, Hunger Games, the Match series. Down there we have that Torn and Caught series. And then all of the series of Unfortunate Events, and then Michigan Chillers. Here's what's left in my bed. We have classics, romance, more classics, fantasy, dystopian, and I just realized that the thing is I want these to go with the series, but also it's a read I'm doing right now. You know? I have all these over here, all my poetry and stuff. Jeez Louise. Maybe I'll just can I make a separate pile? No, not really. I'll figure it out. And I finished. It may look like chaos to some, but it's organized to me. So let me start out where we ended. Hang on, let me get a flashlight. So on top of the Divergent series, we have half of my poetry. And then we have the Beautiful Creature series, Dream Book. And then my current read, which is the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. On top we have my chapstick, and then we have my little Grim Reaper, which holds my scrunchie, and then my headphones, my amethyst that I bought in Mackinac, and we have 2 more poetry books. Romance, fantasy goes down to my witchy books, and then the Cross series. Over there I put the 3 books that really didn't have a place, and then I put my classics, like nonfiction. I don't know what you call it. And then a random Call Me By Your Name. I don't know why that made it there, but it did. 2 more poetry in the sides. And then we have the whole Game of Thrones series. Well, close to it. And then the 1 Maximum Ride book that's really small that wouldn't fit with the others. And then another poetry book and another poetry book. And that's perfect. For now. I don't think they could get any higher because they probably will fall. And they're probably not the best for my books, but I like my books to be lived in. So I'm not too worried about it. But once I start, like, actually reading at either a quicker pace or just reading more consistently, I'll probably put the ones I've read in the corner I showed you over there. And then keep this as my current reads and to be read. But yeah, kind of love it.